What is up, comic fan? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark. I'm here today to talk about New Comic Book Day and what books have made it to the Legion list. But before I do that, check out this short intro. Let's go ahead and thank Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the monthly Legion Loot giveaway for the channel members. If you're not already, be sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook, or one or the other. They are doing big things all the time, every time, with some of the most amazing cover artists in the game. Also, check out Justin Comic on Instagram. If you need anything cleaned or pressed, he can help you out for as little as $10 a book. He can submit directly to CGC and CBCS for you and save you all the hassle. Use that promo code WeAreLegion. Take advantage of that buy two, get one free special he's got running. All right, guys, so let's get right into it. It's definitely a more modest week for me, but some very exciting stuff coming. So right off the bat, you already know it. Detective Comics issue number 1053. This is the Shadows of the Bat 12-issue event that's happening just inside the pages of Detective Comics. As I say every week, it's focusing specifically on the Bat family while Bruce is overseas dealing with a lot of big issues. So that last issue, it was kind of a slower paced one. It's still dealing with the events of the actual outbreak that happened in the Arkham Tower. So moving forward, we're seeing how the House of Cards are starting to fall in on Dr. Ware with all the different criminal organizations that he was kind of dealing with all throughout the city. It seems like he has his hands in everything and is starting to crumble. We saw in that first issue what happens to him, if that is actually what finally happens to him, if there's more to that even. But I am excited to see the Penguin come into play. As always, we have a beautiful cover by Rodriguez, just absolutely crushing it. Definitely worth the read. Definitely worth checking out. As well as we have Nightwing issue number 89. So this is the first of a 2-issue story crossover between Nightwing and Jonathan Kent. They're kind of playing into a little bit of DC history with this one. So Tom Taylor is writing both of these titles, so I am expecting this to be really good, really spot on for what's happening in both of these books. But originally, when Dick Grayson was looking to step out on his own and become Nightwing, he looked to Clark Kent, to Superman, for guidance and advice. And we have John Kent coming to Nightwing now for that. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but we did get a tease and a sneak peek at the upcoming Dark Crisis by Joshua Williamson. And in that sneak peek, it looked like Dick Grayson is taking kind of a leadership position. We know that the main prime characters of DC are going to be sidelined for this event, with the whole death of in issue 75 of Justice League. So that'll make Nightwing one of the more senior members of the superheroes in the world. So I'm excited to see how this is played out. This is really cool. It's a really fun era. You know, like it isn't normal cut and dry of DC normal storytelling over and over again. So I'm excited to see these new characters spotlighted and highlighted. Nightwing is classically one of the only few characters that we have seen go from creation as the boy wonder to growing up and becoming his own man, his own character with his own city to take care of. And now he's even taking a mentor role. We see it in Teen Titans Academy as he's the teacher, upperclassman, lowerclassman, and he's like taking a bigger role. It's cool seeing these characters evolve and actually grow and not just be stuck in the same mold forever and ever. As long as you can still keep the true heart and essence of those characters, no foul. So next up, we have The Flash, issue number 779. We've got the Calypso War happening right now. It looks like Wally West's kids are coming in to try to help him. He's been having to fight off the whole Justice League Dark who's infected by Calypso. They're on Gem World, where he's attempting to use the Gem World itself as an amplifier for his power. Also, I think this is going to be leading into the whole Dark Crisis thing. I think Eclipso is going to be one of the villain players in that. So I don't expect to see too much resolution in this as much as just surviving this story. It's definitely been fun. Current writer on Flash is crushing it. It is legit good. He's got this character of Wally down pat. He's like brought him back to the forefront. Absolutely love Wally. Hashtag Team Wally all day. Next up, we have Justice League 72. So this is more removed from what's going on, I believe, with the whole Dark Crisis event coming up. This is Bendis writing this, and Bendis is also working on the Justice League Legion of Superheroes event book that's kind of its own thing right now. But we do have the return of Diana in last week's annual, which was kind of like a prelude to the Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes. But getting back to the normal title, not the annual, we're dealing with the Royal Flush Gang pulling off the heist of the Fortress of Solitude. We don't know why they did it yet. All we know is it was teasing the actual big heist. It was like it was a throw off. It was a diversion. So I'm excited to possibly see the actual heist that takes place. We're also seeing some Justice League Dark members showing up. So I'm curious to see continuity wise if they're starting to bring everything together, where everything's been more loose with the whole Infinite Frontier era and everything being in this omniverse where the writers have more creative freedom to do their stories inside of their own bodies of work. But it's starting to look like it's kind of spearheading together. So Justice League Dark is always the backup story in this, where their own story has been being told, where they're battling Merlin and him trying to take out all magic in the universe. And he's kind of had his inner goodness, his essence removed by Darkseid's father, who still existed as a piece of the Source Wall that shattered years ago. But I'm really excited to see where Justice League Dark kind of falls in, and if they start bringing this all together for the upcoming event. Next up, we have the infamous or the famous, however you want to look at it, Hulk, issue number 4 by Donny Cates. So we're dealing with Starship Hulk still. We're dealing with pocket dimensions, multiverses, whatever. It's out there. It already is out there. And like Donny Cates mentioned himself, he just likes to write books that he himself enjoys. And if you read the last issue of Crossover, he definitely implied that he doesn't enjoy writing for the big two, that he really just enjoys his own body of work. So I think that's why he goes so extreme with these big two titles. But we have Hulk going to a planet where everything is a gamma mutate, where Thunderbolt Ross is the leader of it, and we're supposed to get all kinds of crazy action. So crazy action, crazy action. Give me substance. I want substance. We do know that we have this upcoming Titan character, the Null of the Hulk, that's been teased in that last issue. I am looking forward to that. That seemed more on brand for the Hulk, you know, with the multiple personality disorder and all that kind of stuff. Could this entity be what's controlling all that? I don't know. Is it a piece of that? I don't know. I'm excited to find out, because that's kind of Hulk, you know. So I'm still hopeful for this book. The action is good, the art is good, the story is not bad. It's just so outrageous, it's hard to get used to or find some kind of like grounded footing to work from. But I am excited to see the story take place, and maybe it's just a long game story. We did see that with his Venom stuff, but I'm going to hang in there. Not dropping Hulk. Not going to happen. Next up, we have the finale to Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino's story Primordial, which has been a very, very, very personal, very touching story of these animals that are lost, that just want to go home, of these humans that are just trying to reconnect with these animals. And it's not like a what is it, a PETA, PSA or anything like that. It's kind of like a cautionary tale so far, like with the way that we treat and interact with things around us. We had these animals that went off into space as experiments that found life in space that hasn't been exactly explained what it is, how it is. All we know is that it was able to endow these animals with a higher intelligence than they had, and they became self-aware, aware of each other, able to communicate with each other, and they're now returning home, only to have a rude awakening with the people of Earth responding negatively to them coming, not knowing it's these pets, but just these visitors from space, and they attack them, and it looks like one of these creatures might have lost its life, and it kind of left us hanging. We have the scientists from Earth that sent them out years ago, old now, and tracking their return and trying to reunite with them. So I am excited to see how it's going to end, if they're going to keep it as low-key as it's been played, or if there's going to be a big twist to it. Next up, we have the finale also to Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. This has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I cannot sing its praises enough. I know everybody's not a Tom King fan. If you're not, you should still read this. This is not his normal body of work. It's very wordy. It's very deep. It's a very detailed, very, very drawn out, but not complex story. The artwork is insane. It's a true story of revenge and a true story of loss. And this finale, we see how the revenge takes place, or if it happens, and the conclusion to it all. Like Supergirl has been kind of chaperoning this little girl around, like True Grit style, like she's a little Ellie character, and they finally come face to face with the opportunity to get the revenge on the person who killed the little girl's dad. And I'm really curious to see how it plays out, but cannot recommend this one enough. And speaking of revenge, we have the next issue of Remender's Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. This has been nuts. This is a psychological thriller where you have no clue what to believe and what not to believe, what's real and what's not real. So all I can say is I'm excited to find out and get a next little piece of the puzzle and be given more questions than I started with, because that's what I've been enjoying about it. Every time they give me an answer, they give me 3 more questions and things to wonder, speculate on, and try to figure out. It's just been really fun, completely art-driven story, the opposite of wordy. Next up, we have Power Rangers issue number 16, which I believe is the conclusion to the Altarian War. We saw the Rangers actually take out the Imperials in the last one. We saw the Blue Emissary is back. They kind of getting their structure down pat. We saw the defeat of the big villain, the big Altarian villain Zorfram by Zordon and Zed. Zordon was laying on the ground damaged, and it looks like he was dying, and Zed just left standing over him. So we're going to see if these two can mend their wounds in their friendship long enough just to save Zordon's life. and kind of how things restructure and settle from here and how we're going to move forward from here. The command center is destroyed, sanctuary is destroyed, Zords are destroyed. Could this possibly be the next step to the next era of Power Rangers that we saw like in the TV show? We went from Mighty Morphin to the Thunder Megazords to the Ninja Zords. So we're at the Thunder Zords, but could this be their next upgrade? Could we be going to the Ninja Zords? Are we one step closer to Zeo? How far are they going to push the envelope of Mighty Morphin? All we know is this is supposed to be Ryan Parrott's last issue. He's moving over to do other projects. So he's been on this for a while. What is the new creator on this going to do? I'm excited to find out. It's been a good run by Parrott. It's had its highs, it's had its lows, but this Eltarian War has been solid all the way through. And I'm definitely hopeful, and I'm going to continue with Power Rangers, not dropping that one ever either. Next up, a straight up cover buy. We have an issue of G.I. Joe number 89. So this is a straight up John Jane goodness. I think I got these from Eastside Comics. That's the standard one, and that's the I don't know what you call it. Normally you have like a trade dress and a virgin, but a lot of times John really churches things up and gives you some awesomeness, so you're not just buying the same book with or without a trade dress. So I don't know what the deal with the whole like Pimp Daddy Destro is. I do know I've seen like the action figures from the Hasbro line where this is an actual action figure even. So I'm definitely excited to get these. That one just is gorgeous, but that's cool as a fan, man. I don't know what's going on, but I love his Pimp cane with the Cobra on it. He's got the gold rings on it. It's just awesome. So I'm excited to get those, to see the shipping for those coming soon and be able to unbox them and just add them to the nice display. Might have to do a round of G.I. Joe behind me. Who knows? There's good stuff. But as always, if you want to know what my top pick for this week is going to be, head over to the Comic Vets channel. He's currently still pushing for that 600 subscriber milestone. He has his entry video for his giveaway up right now. So go check that out, sub him up, get in on that giveaway, and also watch out for every Sunday. We post a video where we both give you our top pick for this coming week blind and tell you why you should consider checking that book out. And if you're ever in the Augusta area, be sure to hit up the Augusta Book Exchange. They are the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything I'm looking for is safe and secure. Every week when I go to get there, you'll find no better customer service anywhere. So swing on by, stop in, and tell Paul and Donna what's up, and let them know that we are Legion. And as always, guys, Sunday nights, 9 p.m., at Weeks in the live show, the spoiler-filled look back at This Week in Comics, and so much more. So much to talk about. Tomorrow night is going to be like that DC promo drop that just happened. There's the Peacemaker, second to last episode, Book of Boba Fett wrapped up. There's just a lot of great stuff going on this week, as well as Reacher. Me and my wife have been binging out on Reacher. Cannot wait to hang out with the community, talk to all you guys. Come over, join in the chat, have some fun. And as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.